I'm Jennifer Spivey, and welcome back to the Connect podcast. I'm so glad you're here with me today. We've been talking over the past couple of weeks about how we view each other's success and how we respond to the blessings of God in someone else's life. So I'm calling this podcast or this episode Start the Clap. It comes from a blog post I wrote a few years ago, in 2017 to be exact, after a sweet experience I had with some of my music students. I thought it was worth revisiting because the message is timeless. Celebrating others does not take anything away from us. In fact, it enriches us. So I used to teach music in an elementary school. And several years ago, my handbell choir and my mallet band were invited to perform at a local theater for a benefit concert. The kids were so excited. They weren't only excited to perform, but they were also excited because they were invited to stay and watch the entire concert. One of my students had a habit that I don't think I'll ever forget. He would sit on the edge of his seat with his hands raised at chest level, and he's ready to go. Finally, I asked him, "Why do you sit like that? You're okay, bud. You can sit back, relax, enjoy." But he said, "Miss Spivey, I want to start the clap. I want to be the first one clapping so the whole audience will follow me." It still makes me smile years later, and I can bring his voice and his face to my mind even right now. What a beautiful picture of someone eager to celebrate the success of others, not just tolerate it, but to lead the celebration. As I was thinking about this student celebration, I was reminded somehow of the story of the prodigal son in Luke 15. When the father saw his son returning, he didn't hesitate. He ran, he embraced him, and he started planning a celebration right away. He said, "Bring the best robe, prepare the feast." He started the clap. I bet he had been standing at that posture, ready to receive him for years. But the older brother had a different response. He was resentful. He felt like his brother's celebration somehow diminished his own position. His father gently reminded him, "Son, you are always with me, and everything that I have is yours. It's fitting to celebrate and be glad." Nothing was taken away from the older brother. In fact, something was added, right? His relationship with his brother was restored. But because he made it about himself, he couldn't join the celebration about his brother's return home. I saw this same principle lived out recently when I met a pastor. He's in the middle of a building project, and I get excited about stuff like that. I want to hear about the wins. I want to hear about the challenges. I want to hear about how God's providing. How's the church responding? I want to hear the excitement. And so we shared a great conversation, and then this pastor said something that really stood out to me. He said, "Have you seen the other two churches in my town who are also building? It's so exciting to see our community thriving in our small town." Did you catch that? He didn't just celebrate his church. He celebrated their church, and he didn't say those churches. He said our community. That's what it feels like. That's what it looks like to start the clap. And I believe his joy will echo throughout that town for years to come. So how can we do this? How can we train our hearts to celebrate others genuinely and reject jealousy, reject comparison? So here's a couple of simple but maybe powerful practices. Number one, pray sincerely for the success of others. It's hard to be jealous of someone that you are consistently lifting up in prayer. Ask God to bless their ministry, enlarge their territory, and deepen their impact for His glory. Number two, speak life. When you see someone doing well, tell them. Send the text, leave the comment, write the note. I love snail mail. A simple, "I see God's hand in what you're doing" can water seeds of courage in someone else's soul. Number three, share resources and share opportunities. Just like Peter called for the other boats when his nets were full, share what God is pouring into your life. If you have wisdom, experience, or connections that could bless someone else, offer them. And four, refuse to compare. Comparison, as you know, is a thief of joy and a killer of kingdom collaboration. When the temptation comes, remind yourself, God's call on my life is unique. I'm not running someone else's race. I'm running mine. There's no competition here. Jesus came that we might have life more abundantly, right? That abundance applies to us all. I love that my student taught me a lesson so many years ago that I still carry today. Our joy is multiplied when we celebrate others, not diminished. Romans 12:15 says, rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. To be honest, sometimes the weeping part is easier than the rejoicing part. But I'm praying for you and I'm praying for me that we would find joy in abundance and enough to share. So next time you see someone succeeding, blessed, or walking in their calling, don't hold back. Assume the posture, start the clap. So I just want to, and you'll find it's a lot of fun too. I want to thank you for joining me on the Connect podcast today. And hey, if you have a minute, check out the new website, www.connectmentoringnetwork.org. And I look forward to connecting with you again soon.